dear Sangha members. Welcome to our question and answer discussion with our Venerable Khenpo Tenzin. We will begin our morning here in our Yellow Garchen Institute prayer book on page 4 and 5. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as space, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they not be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Let me first work this. Hello. Can you hear me? Oh, very good.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so we are I just remind you actually you know during Dharma discussion we are going to generate bodhicitta. Usually we are practice bodhicitta, but sometimes circumstance is important, circumstance or condition. So we met here during this question and answer time. It is conditioned to generate bodhicitta. So today, only in this during the question and answer time, if we can generate bodhicitta, that is really wonderful. Okay, thank you. So now we will start questions. Is these questions, Belly? Oh, thank you. Kim. Oh, I see. Okay, so we will start questions. Who would like to open over Dharma? Who? Yes, Lydia. Oh, not you. Sorry, I thought you. Who? Yes, Shana. Thank you.
Okay, I have a question. I just have to find it really quick. But
Mhm.
so my namaste, and I just want to say we have 7 puppies, and they sometimes are really loud. So if you have trouble hearing me, I'll work that out. But my question is, when we're doing our Nondro practice,
Mhm.
and we're doing the Sanskrit alphabet mantra,
Mhm.
and for the vowels, we're visualizing in the center of our tongue, ah, moving clockwise and white.
Mhm.
And then with the consonants, counterclockwise and red.
Mhm.
And then with the mantra of independent origination, clockwise and blue.
Mhm.
Can you explain what that is and what that represents and what we're doing with the visualization?
Yes. Our mind is actually luminosity, clarity. So our minds, and these our bodhicitta. Bodhicitta means usually we say bodhicitta. We all know about this, but in this case, bodhicitta means the drops as parents' energies. So these consonants represents means actually these are reality is our parents' energies which are in our body. So our mind and over these energies or drops, they are actually non-duality. So it is like the sun and the sun's ray. So wherever we have these energies, there is light. We don't call them light, we call it luminosity. So that's why the vowels and consonants, they are red drop and white drops. That's why it's radiate light. So right now our mind is ordinary mind because it covered by obscurations. When we purify these obscurations, and then our mind become like a light, and then uh, where is light, there is the what is called radiates. So that's why these vowels and consonants, Sanskrit, they have spontaneously they have light, but then they garland clockwise and anti-clockwise. Then there are more light radiates because it helps us to keep catch, or it helps us to it helps to bring our attention completely there. If we pay attention there clearly, then our mind becomes our minds become samadhi. So this is wonderful meditation. Samadhi means meditation. So for that reasons, they 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 are not just vocabularies. They are the essence of all Dharma teachings. These mantras, and then this interdependent mantra helps. There are many understanding. Interdependence mantra is, for example, sometimes in the relative form we are related stars, moon, and day, and elements connections. So sometimes it's a good day, sometimes a bad day. We have different perceptions. But this interdependence mantra purified them. Everything comes into the pure, nice day, nice star, nice elements connection. And then especially if we have quite a higher dharma realization through our practice, then whenever we recite this interdependent mantra, we realize the natural interdependence. Natural interdependence, and then this natural interdependence means we notice like everything's are interdependent each other. And then through this way we are very easily understand emptiness. So anyhow, no, the main thing is that do you clear? Are you?
I think I have, so the way it's clear to me, and I don't know if this is right or not, but the way it makes sense to me is like the example. This is, so I'd like to, can I run this by you and you could tell me if it's a correct understanding or not?
Yes, you tell. It's
okay.
Very good.
So like the other day I was feeling very agitated, and I went and did my practice, and I watched my thoughts, and then I watched my feelings of agitation, and then under that was this energy of like kind of this chaotic. And then as I kept practicing, I realized I could change my thoughts, and then my feelings changed, and then I felt like at a cellular level, like my cells calmed down and spun and radiated light. That's how I'm understanding what you're saying. Is that, could that be?
Yes, absolutely. Our mind is naturally luminosity. So sometimes in the different Dzogchen practice, there were we appears different light, and then in each light we can appear yidam deities, So these are not only created by our mind. Inherently, our mind is luminosity. That's why it is clarity. That's why it is purity. So during our practice, absolutely, we will experience kind of this, as you mentioned. That's absolutely the energies of our mind, or practice on the mind. So that's very good. You practice on your thoughts. This is a really wonderful practice.
Thank you. And then with the visualizing the red and the white, I guess it's the white, the red, and the blue, how does that help us?
Yes, how does they help us means it spontaneously help us. That means it will reduce our thoughts, and it means our the natural state of mind or intrinsic awareness start to radiate in our mind, in ordinary mind. So that is the best to help us. There is not sudden. That means we cannot see directly. Oh, my obscuration reduce from here, there goes there, something like that. We cannot figure out, them out like this clearly. But for example, as you said, that now this kind of this luminosity experience arise. That means our obscuration reduce. If obscurations are not reduced, then luminosity light cannot appear. For example, the sun covered by clouds, then sun cannot shine, right? Cannot shine in the earth because it covered by a cloud. But this cloud getting thinner, or this cloud moved by wind, then sun's ray come in this earth, same like that. It's a great result.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you very much. Thank you, wonderful. Okay, next. Hello. Yes.
Hi, Khenpo.
Hi.
Thank you so much for offering this opportunity.
Thank you.
My question is, in the Vipassana practice, we have to distinguish between the external object and the feelings about the object when we look at our mind, that we distinguish this is an external object that is simply interdependent arising. It's not my mind, and then but the feelings about the object are my mind.
Oh, yes, this is in the relative form. Absolutely, you are correct. You are right. These external interdependence are the not over mind, and internal over feelings are over mind. So this is pretty easy to understand when we are practicing Vipassana. But we progress Vipassana, our meditation increase, then we have to resolve or decide that every appearance are over mind. So we have to decide that during the Vipassana practice, particularly this I just said that recently, so I'm not sure how much suitable, but Tibetan Buddhist Vipassana practice, we must do that. So all the appearances are mind. This is the first decision. And then also we have to watch our mind, a part of movement, which are thoughts. And calm, relaxing, this is the natural state of mind, this part. So anyhow, first we are going to think, as you said, external things are not mind yet, but we focus more interdependence. For example, I focus on a camera, this camera, and I think, oh, this is camera, then this is ordinary perception. Of course, I cannot think, oh, this camera is my mind. I cannot think that. And also, I cannot think this is interdependence. So this is ordinary thinking. But I focus on the camera, and then I investigate the forms, colors, and different directions, and then how to establish. And I separate them part to part. I separate, and then how they connect. If we separate them, there is no camera. And then they are gathering together, oh, there is a camera. But they then start to focus on the thinking. Oh, if each and every part are not camera, then how can be camera when they are gathering together? Definitely this is created by my mind. Oh, thoughts means that. Thoughts created a lot. And then, oh, this camera is good. This camera is powerful. Everything that we label or we created by our thoughts. And then what the problem is, oh, then it's going well, happy, the desire increase. If it doesn't work well, and then aversion, something like that. That's where whenever we have attachment and aversion arises in the mind, then we have suffering. That's where we do not need suffering. So anyhow, the way of Vipassana practice, there are many steps of Vipassana practice. So some steps or some way of practicing, we can separately practice external things and internal things. But then Vipassana practice increase, then we have to resolve our mind. Everything are our mind.
Okay. Thank you.
So welcome. Is you or is Skasa? Are you? Oh yes. Saskia. Thank you, Pello. It's a wonderful question. Yes, Saskia.
Yes.
Delay.
Yeah, I'm in a big family. I run everywhere there are people.
Very good. Big family.
So everywhere it's noisy.
Snoring.
So
oh, hello. I see.
I don't have questions. Thank you. But it's, yeah. Anyway, I listened again your teaching today because I had time. It's full of information. The teaching of Tuesday.
Thank you. Ah, Belly dear. Oh, I see. Devor? Oh, yes. Davor.
Taxidele. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
When a respected Lama dies, it is said that he passed into paranirvana. But then, on the other hand, it is said, may we pray for his swift return. Like it was recently ago from the institute, we got mail from that a respected Lama died, and it is his parinirvana, and then on the end a ceremony to pray for his return. So I don't understand then how can it be if paranirvana is that a person goes to nirvana, how does he come back, or does he stay in nirvana, or what happens I'm confused about that.
Yes, same. I have that question. If they reached in nirvana, why they don't stay there? Come back in samsara. Just kidding.
Is it just out of respect, saying that is their parinirvana, or what is the meaning?
They are definitely gurus passed away. We call them pre-nirvana. So that means they definitely rebirth or reborn in Pure Land. In Pure Land. But we ask them to come back, and they come back. The reason is they don't care they become enlightened or they rebirth in Pure Land or not. But they care over Mother Sentient beings. Because they voluntarily take care of our Mother Sentient beings. As our good parents take care of our children. Children do not ask to parents, our parents, please take care of me. Even though we try to say, we cannot say when we are very baby, very young, but parents take care. That we see, even though the cows and tigers and the cat and so on, they voluntarily take care of their children. Similarly, these gurus have extremely boundless bodhicitta, that they are work through the power of bodhicitta and compassion. That's where the power of bodhicitta and compassion, they work, they act, they speak. The result, whether they like to rebirth in the Pure Land or not, they rebirth in the Pure Land. That is a natural interdependence. Natural interdependence. If you are in the stay in the big river, and then it's naturally it take into the ocean, take you into the ocean. Same like that. So the vehicle of bodhicitta and compassion take them in Pure Land. But then we ask them to come back is we have a special relation with our guru, you know, because we have a connection through mind to mind, heart to heart. This is not only kind of some relation between some external things. We have a very special connection with their guru's mind and our mind. So if we ask, the reason is guru already voluntarily okay to come back. But if we don't ask means we don't ask only from our mouth. We ask internally. That means we are blossom. Then our mind is become like a lotus. Then gurus are like a being. Where is lotus? A being come there. Or there's some the hummingbirds. They take some nectars of flowers. Where is the flower? They come there. They try to get it. Same like that. If we open our faith, if we blossom our devotion and sincere motivation, and then from our mouth also say what we think in the mind, then they come back. And then they bless us. And then they help us to liberate. So they come back for liberate Mother Sentient beings. So the reason is that, so they spontaneously rebirth in the Pure Land. No worry. But we ask them for the sake of Mother Sentient beings, and then they come back and they help. So they come back because they for the sake of our Mother Sentient beings. Are you clear?
They come back in a body or just as a blessing in other form?
Oh, very good. There is two more ways. Some of them bless us. You know, for example, in the daytime, we have many solar power just to show on the sun, and then in the daytime sun give energy in the solar what is called this window side, right? And then in the night we can use, that means the sun already gone, sun left from western mountains, sun crossed there, but still in the night we can turn on the light. It helps. So that means sometimes they bless our mind, sometimes they do, their body come back. Their body come back means they take they rent the human body. That's why we say there are Turku Rinpoche. This means how to say, they rent our body, and then they we can see. That means they are nirvana kayas form. You know, we can see what we can talk, we can ask, we can share. So there are different ways. It's like a daytime we can see the sun. It is depend on our merit. If we have a great merit, then we don't want to turn on the light, so we stay in the sunlight. If our merit is a little low, then we can we turn on the light, but the sun already gone like that. So it like that, yes.
Mm. And is it nirvana? Is it Pure Land also nirvana then?
Pure Land is nirvana, right? Nirvana means actually peaceful land, happiness land, joyful land. You know, Amitabha's Pure Land, for example. Nirvana also, they have little different kind of layers, different layers. Some nirvana is very, some Pure Lands are very, how to say, interesting. That means full of joys, you know. But some Pure Land is better than this over Mother Earth, much better than this Earth. So there are thousands of Pure Lands. So, but it compared this samsara, especially lower realms. In the lower realms, we say 24/7 they are suffering. That's where this human realm is much better than them. But then these Pure Lands, they compare with this human realm. Then the human realm is a realm of suffering. Pure Land, all the Pure Lands are realm of happiness. So they compared in the samsara. Samsara means ocean of suffering, and Pure Land means nirvana. That means peaceful. There are no suffering. That's why.
But it's not the same as enlightenment. I mean, if we pray to Amitabha Buddha at the time of death and we get reborn in his Pure Land, are we automatically enlightened or not?
Yes. You rebirth in Pure Land, suddenly you will not become Buddha. But they are different. Someone rebirth in the Pure Land, suddenly they become Buddha. But it depends with the cause and the effect, you know, karma. So right now you supplicate Amitabha Buddha, for example, and then you trust karma and you follow the karmic system, law of karma, and you purify, you don't let arise wrong view in your mind, then for sure you will rebirth in the Amitabha's land and you will become Bodhisattva there. And then what we can grant probably. What we can decide is you will rebirth in the Pure Land, then for sure you will become Buddha, because what you do is Dharma practice there. And what you see is Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And you have no circumstance to cultivate non-virtue. And then you have no suffering there. If you are there, Bodhisattva, right? And then sooner or later you will become Buddha. So there is some steps. But some wonderful practitioners, they become Buddha, and also they can rebirth in the Pure Land. So Pure Land has thousands of Buddhas, thousands of Bodhisattvas. So like that.
Okay. Thank you, Khenpo.
So welcome. Very good question. Thank you. Thank you.
And Khenpo, is it possible to have that happen here on Earth?
It happened what?
What you just described, when you answered Davor's question and said that they can be born and see only bodhisattvas and practice Dharma practice all the time. Can that happen here on Earth?
Absolutely. That is how. Right now we say we are going to practice preliminary practices. We are going to purify. Finally, we should purify our mind. Our mind purify, then our speech will purify. Our speech purify, then our body will purify. When these three doors, we call three doors, body, speech, and mind. The reason we call them door means the door of liberation. So that's why if we have pure perception, all mother beings are Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Drakas and Dakinis. And then external, these things are mandalas. And all the sounds are, even though right now your dog or whose dog, its sound is mantra, really. Right now we say, oh, this is a dog sound, this is a human sound, this is a melodious, this is a harsh words. That means we have a dualistic perception. When we liberate from there, then all the sounds are mantra. All the appearances are yadams, drakas and dakinis, and all the lines, this Mother Earth, mountains, they are mandala. And then we are already in the Pure Land. So that's where we have to purify our mind. So when we can stay purely our mind, then this is also Pure Land.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good question. Thank you. Next. Yes, Lydia.
Yes.
Linda.
Hi, Satele, everybody. Tashidele Khenpo, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. This question is about Vajrapani sadhana and practice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Since I took the empowerment, I decided to practice Vajrapani, and I want to share my experience with you and ask you a question about, like, I kind of feel some kind of nervous or anxiety while I was practicing. So my first question is this a good sign or a bad sign? Feeling the energy, feeling some kind of nervous, anxiety, like maybe Vajrapani power, I don't know. You can tell me. Then I kind of to finish the sadhana, the practice, and then I kind of still feel this I don't know if it's fear or I don't know what it is. What is it? And then I bring gurus to my mind. I bring His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche to mind, and also Guru Rinpoche, and ask them why I'm feeling like this. So second question is, when you said wisdom voice, if this is the wisdom voice that you heard when you ask these kind of questions to your gurus, and they kind of like say something to you through your mind, and then they say to me that this is because I grasp phenomena and because I still have the dualistic perception. So then I finish my meditation and I kind of to think about it. And then you said this while you teaching the Vipassana teaching. I kind of like relate what I feel during this practice. So you can tell me while you're doing sadhana practice, you are also accomplish like meditation, like generation meditation, then some kind how like vipassana, because I was like kind of thinking about my mind, what I'm thinking this, what I feel this, and then I kind of do that come to my mind. I understand that this is because I still grasp phenomena, and I still have this dualistic thought, even though I don't know. So you can tell me if this is a good experience or bad experience, or what is your advice, so I could accomplish a 100% practice with Vajrapani. Thank you.
So welcome.
Thank you.
So first,
I hope you understand.
Yes.
I hope you understand me.
Yes, of course. I will answer your first question, and then we keep going together. Otherwise, I can't hear some part. So I couldn't hear well. So when we practice Yidam deities, sometimes we have different feelings which arise. So these feelings are absolutely good sign. Any kind of feelings arise, they are a good sign. We always expect some good experiences. If it's spontaneously we have a good experience, that is good. But we don't expect, may I have a good experience or good signs, you know. So these when we practice, sometimes we have it's in the ordinary perception or ordinary way, we see some kind of strange things and little unusual experiences. They are a good sign. They are a good sign. That means it start to work in our body, in our channels, in our mind. So it is like if we read Buddha's story, so Buddha visited different place, and Buddha met very special sangha. At that time, suddenly sometimes he has not it's a gorgeous sign or wonderful sign. Sometimes there are lots of kind of water problems or fire problems, something like that. But then at that time he met such a wonderful disciple, you know, and there's many ways. So anyhow, the thing is, you don't worry about strange feeling arises, kind of nervous, and the nervous feeling of nervous is powerful. So Vajrapani is also all Buddha's embodiment of all Buddha's power, you know. So through your Vajrapani practice, you have nervous. It means Vajrapani tells you focus on nervous. You're nervous, and then it can develop your practice. And then I don't remember that second one or not. generation stage and completion stage. These are in the Vajrayana vocabularies, Vajrayana vehicles. And Shamatha and Vipassana, usually in the Sutara, where we often come in these words. So basically, in the Vajrayana completion stage and Sutara, Vipassana is almost the same. And in the Sutara, Shamatha and in the Vajrayana, the development stage, generation stage are almost the same. Especially when you practice this generation stage practice, at that time your mind is clearly focused on the object, like a yadam deities. Actually, this is shamatha. So, of course, inside has a little different experiences because of the layer of these practices. Otherwise, they are very similar. So, you don't think when you generate, for example, when you visualize yadam deities, oh, I'm going to meditate shamatha. This is, don't think like that. When you are meditate on the, visualization, you keep going. If 1 hour, 2 hour, how long you can do, only do that. And you don't want to particularly shamatha practice beside of that, beside that, right? And then when you meditate shamatha in single pointedly, you don't think, oh, I'm going to practice the generation stage or completion or the development stage. You don't think, you only focus on the shamatha because they will help each others. Both lead your meditation, both helps you to increase your meditation. So you are successfully accomplished shamatha and you meditate on the generation stage. It's very wonderful. It has so, how to say, you can clearly focus on yadam deities, you can clearly visualize, and your mind can rest on yadam deities clearly, purely. So that's where they all help each others. Only during one practice you don't follow other practice. During the other practice you don't follow different ways. Only keep going that way. But they will help each others. And then other, what is that? Sorry, I don't remember.
Sorry, I don't remember even. Sorry. I think it was what is like grasping phenomena, because when I was in the conclusion stage, I was meditating about my feelings and everything. So then I remember what His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche said about the self-grasping and self-grasping and the real demon is in our mind. We had to control our mind, tame your own mind and all that. So my final question is, what would you advise me to make 100% Vajrapani practice without grasping phenomena? I still don't understand.
Grasping phenomena, right?
Grasping of phenomena, yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Grasping phenomena is in the Nagarjuna's teaching in Madhya Nikaya, and his disciples has teaching. It says very clearly. First, we have the imprint of ignorance. This is the foundation of all the grasping. And then start to self-grasping. I. Then this, when we have this grasping, self-grasping, and then start to my. This is a grasping of phenomena. My job, my house, my land, my friends, my, because it comes from I. So they are my house. This is a grasping of phenomena. My land. This is a grasping of phenomena. Then sometimes we don't directly think, oh, my land or my tree or my stone, something like that, but we directly, oh, this is river, this is tree, this is land. So this is also grasping of phenomena, because this is also comes from my land, my house, my things, come from there. That's why this grasping of phenomena is that. Is that your question?
Yes, kind of. So next, I have another question, because I just remembered how Vajrapani help you in the bardo, because you say grasping phenomena. So like when you die, of course you're not grasping this whole phenomena, right?
Oh, you mean how to help in the bardo?
Well, yes, Khenpo Sadhu Rinpoche talk about Vajrapani is helping you on the bardo stage. So could you explain me a little bit more about that? And maybe this is why I came to my mind the phenomena relation, because in the bardo it's totally different. I mean, I've never been in the bardo. Maybe I don't remember.
Right. I understand. Yes.
Yes.
Since we have self-grasping, we are in the samsara, but we quite easily reduce self-grasping, but still we are bound the grasping of phenomena. So some bodhisattvas have this grasping of phenomena. Some bodhisattvas and some practical Buddhas, they also have grasping of phenomena. So anyhow, the pardo, when pardo, your main deity appear in the pardo. So at that time you will start to nervous, because you see it's really strange, because their voice, right now we look at Thangka, is quite serious, they have Rutherford fans and lots of Rutherford things. Right now we just see in the pictures like fires burn behind of them, but in the Pardo real this appear, during the Pardo real that appear. It's very possible to nervous. But right now we make relation with them, we understand. First we understand them, then we make friends with them, then we make them, it's our very heart friendship, something like that, in the inner friendship. So then during the Pardo, they will appear, and then we understand, oh, this is like a Vajrapani, oh, this is like a Heruka, this is like this, that. We understand. When we understand, then spontaneously our mind and this Yidam deities become friends. And then also we can understand, we will able to understand, oh, they come to help me. So then we will not scared, not nervous. That's why we supplicate them, and then they lead us in the pure land. But that is not easy, That's where right now we are going to training. So,
Thank you so much, Khenpo. Thank you.
Welcome. Very good question. Thank you. Very good questions. Okay, next. Next who? Eleanor. Yes.
this may be an easy question given the depth that people are talking about, but I want to just see if I understand this right.
Mm-hmm.
So shamatha meditation calms our mind down enough that we automatically somehow get into the Vipassana. Now, the Vipassana is a much deeper experience or place. I don't know what the right word would be. But that's the place where experiences happen that I have no concepts for somehow. I'm just checking that out. Because that seems to be, and they're extraordinary when they happen. They're very rare. But I just am checking this out. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. This when we explain what is shamatha, exactly what you said, that way we introduce. What is the vipassana, we explain this way. But we come inside pretty more details, you know. Vipassana, shamatha practice is like a teenager, like a baby. The action is like that. But that will grow, develop. Shamatha developed, and then it always combine with Vipassana. Vipassana practitioners without practice shamatha, they cannot accomplish successfully. If someone since previous life they did wonderful practice on shamatha, then it's possible. Otherwise, the majority we have to practice. Perhaps we have to practice shamatha first, and then vipassana, or together. You know, it is like a candlelight. With set candlelight, just stand up candlelight. That part is shamatha. And this candlelight has a light. This light remove darkness. That part is vipassana. So vipassana and shamatha always comes together. The shamatha's power increase. That is become vipassana. You know, vipassana has quality which is part of relaxing, calm down, certain. This part is we call shamatha actually. So the first way of practice there is we are going to practice through different ways. Shamatha means single pointedly focus and relax. Vipassana means we observe, we investigate a lot. What is that, this, those, you know. But it's different than our ordinary thought.
Okay, so these places that I've never been before with these experiences I have no concepts for, that I'm on the hunt for, do I just kind of keep them over here, and then I feel like eventually I'll run into it, you know, whatever it is. Is that the best way to approach these?
Perhaps this is my suggestion. When we investigate, for example, when I start to investigate my head, from my crown to my chin, I investigate step by step. Yes, I'm investigating, but without the power of shamatha, I cannot investigate clearly. Because I investigate my crown, my mind is maybe in Tibet. My mind is going in the Phoenix or somewhere. That means I have very less power of shamatha. If I have very good shamatha, I investigate my crown, I can 100% focus only my crown. And then come back on my ears or my nose or my chin. It's come very clearly. My mind will not move anywhere except investigating that area. So that's where this help is that. And what did you say? Sorry, can you repeat?
these experiences that I have no concepts for.
Oh,
You
no
know,
concepts.
do you just sort of keep them over here, and then as I learn more, I'll run into whatever that is? Or what's the best way to approach that?
Best way is best way is best way is practice. We really have to meditate. Shamatha is mindfulness. Anyhow, the very strong obstacle of meditation is including two. One is dullness. Whenever you start to meditate, you fall in sleep. That is one obstacle. Another obstacle is whenever you start to meditate, you close your eyes, you sit on the one chair or the meditation cushion, but your mind is scattered everywhere. Your mind wander everywhere. So these two things are obstacles of meditation, shamatha or vipassana. So how you develop, how do you experience shamatha and vipassana practice? You have only two helpers. There are many helpers, but they are including two. Number one is your mindfulness. You always follow your mindfulness. Mindfulness. Right now, people married, I think, I just guess, they wear some ring, this finger ring. I mean, that means they don't want to lose their relationship. Maybe it's possible. Same like that, mindfulness, mindfulness. Mindfulness means always you remember, I'm going to meditate shamatha, you remember that, and you are focused on, you are relaxing on object, you relax there, and when your mind start to move, wander, then you ask attentiveness. So you have two supporters, which are mindfulness and attentiveness. There is two obstacles, dullness and agitation. Agitation and dullness is the obstacle of meditation. Mindfulness and attentiveness, they are support to your meditation. You are the meditator, so you always have to follow these attentiveness and mindfulness. Attentiveness and mindfulness conquer dullness, agitated mind. Then you will experience shamatha, you will experience vipassana through your meditation.
That's a beautiful answer, but that's not my question.
Oh, not your question. Okay.
It's a beautiful answer.
What is your question?
All right. This is going to sound very strange, and I'm not sure what to make of it, but it was, I did this. I always start with the shamatha because it calms me down, and I know how to sort of shut the mind off and focus. And sometimes I get to this place that's much deeper, and it's I become very aware of a point inside that's connected to my breathing, and it all of a sudden I don't know where I was, but I was the point. And at the same time, I was the emanations coming out of the point. And I knew that somehow, but I don't know how I knew that. And I was like, wow, wait a minute here. And so I became the emanation, And then I went back and became the point, and I could move to either the point or the emanation. And then it was like, oh, I'm both of these at the same time. And that was what I came away with from that particular meditation. And although I've gotten to where I experienced that point, which is all connected with the breath, I've never experienced that seeing both sides somehow before. So that's what I mean. How do I go about finding out what that is? Does that come as I get further along in the studies? You know, the mental I guess it's the mental understanding of what that experience is or was. Mm-hmm. Do I just sort of put it over here and hope I can get back there someday? You know, or investigate. I don't know how you investigate it. That's what I mean. Experiences that I don't have concepts for. Uh-huh. What do I do with those kinds of experiences in meditation? Do I just file them away and hope that as I learn more, you know, about the practices and stuff, that I will run into that? Because where I study here in Boston, Lama Sonam, he reads Mani Kaboom, mm-hmm. and on Sundays, mm-hmm. and which I found to be incredibly valuable. And I found several concepts in there that explain some experiences. So I'm asking, is that how one approaches this kind of thing to understand them? You just sort of wait until you're intellectually far enough in the teaching that you will run into it, mm-hmm. and then you'll recognize it.
Actually there are the boundaries of Buddha's compassion, bodhicitta, and wisdom. He taught thousands of methods, skillfully taught. So there are different practitioners need different methods. So that's where Buddha taught. Then we cannot learn everything. We cannot learn everything. But what we need to learn, that part we will learn. For example, right now, for you think, okay, I'm going to develop my Shamatha practice and Vipassana practice. Then that part you should learn. But it does not mean you are going to learn in some philosophy centers, particularly them. You learn means you listen carefully. After you little bit reflect, the principle is you meditate. You should meditate on that. When you meditate on there, you have different experiences. When you have different experiences, you ask your guru, share, I have this experience. I meditate from that on this object, and then I experience like this. So what is that? Then if your guru is, then your guru tells you, okay, now you progress through this way. If you do this, then you successfully accomplished that practice. And perhaps your guru say, oh, this is a little bit obscurations or obstacles, so you don't follow that. At that time, you come back this way, or you use this antidote. When you arise kind of that feeling, you use that antidote. Your guru pointing out, guru explained to you about that. And then you do that, and then you will accomplish your meditation. It means no need for a long time. In short time, you can accomplish your practice, So, Shamatha meditation, first we are going still, I think many of practitioners still need to learn how to relate mindfulness. Because we say, oh, mindfulness is very important, only say that it does not enough, how to relate it. For example, if you are going to Prescott, do you know? Phoenix, or shuttle bus or car is very important. But then how to go in the car, something like that. You have to know how many hours from here to Phoenix. You have to know, otherwise your airplane or to fly, you can reach in the Phoenix, then it's possible you stay there for rent, hotel, extra pay money, something like that. So you have to relate it, mindfulness. Then best thing is I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes with my breath. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. For 5 minutes, maybe you can some 100 of breathing in and out. It's naturally. So at that time, you have distractions, different distractions. Perhaps you hear different sound, and suddenly you notice, you acknowledge, and you come back on this your breath. That means you remember I'm in the meditation on the breath. So you come back. And then you are working meditation from here to, from your chair to your door side, You are working from here to there. I'm going to training how long I can be meditate. From right now you sit on the chair, right? You stand up, you go on your door, maybe your yard, and between there you are working and you examining your mind. How long you can keep. If you are working at that time, your cats or dogs, they are coming, going, and you follow there, your mind focus there, suddenly you acknowledge. That is actually power of your attentiveness. After acknowledge, you don't follow your cat or dogs or something. You come back on your meditation. That is your meditation. Meditation lead you relax again on your meditation. For example, you are working meditate, right? So you are working, and then there's some different sound heard, and then suddenly acknowledge, and then we are forget. We are working on there, working meditate, we heard different sound, then we forget we are in meditation. That means we have very less power of mindfulness. So we come back. It's sometimes we make effort to come back. Come back means relax again, rest again on that object. Sometimes we make effort. But sometimes we do not need to make effort. The power of mindfulness is kind of spontaneously you come back on that object. So then you training through this way is your mindfulness, the shamatha meditation increase. At the same time you understand how to relate it mindfulness, how to make a relationship with your mindfulness. And then you go back on the attentiveness. You acknowledge some in the major, usually you don't want to think too much, like you are working meditation and you heard a different sound suddenly. Just acknowledge and don't care. Just ignore them. You don't, sometimes you make effort to ignore them. In the majority times, you don't want to make effort to ignore them. Just you come back on your object. So how to train your attentiveness is when it's strong sound or something hearing, and then your mind is almost your meditation of shamatha lost, and you start to follow this different object, and then you more clearly kind of introduce yourself. This is not my object of meditation.
It's funny you say that. I've been working more on mindfulness because I've realized how important that is. And I've been practicing it while I'm doing the dishes. You know, now I am washing the fork. Now I'm washing the times the fork. Now I am, you know what I mean? To try and pay attention, because it's hard. It's really hard to look at something and keep your attention focused on whatever it is you're looking at. And I can see my mind go this way and that way, but I'm also starting to see I can bring it back, and hopefully the spaces in between when I need to bring it back are getting bigger. But it's very trippy to wash dishes and try to pay attention to the fact that you are washing dishes right this minute, and what exactly are you doing washing dishes? You know, which pot are you washing? What part of the pot are you washing? It's a very interesting exercise. So yes, thank you.
So welcome. Right. First, it's little. It seems difficult. Yeah, this because we have our mind is very scattered and very agitated mind, or very dullness. That's why first is quite hard. But we training in this Dharma instruction said it. Gampopa or some said that. Oh, Shantideva said that. If you become familiar, everything's are easy peasy. Everything's are easy. So it's very there are different ways to training. You know, sometimes we listen Dharma. First, it's a little hard because Dharma is very interesting or not interesting. His explanation is that, but Dharma is this, or different things. And then each hour is very long and it's very hard. But then 100%, just decide, determination, decisively practice is very important. So just decide whatever, focus only Dharma teachings, and then close eyes and listen. It's going like in through the river, you know, river. We are going through the long river. We only focus the river. The river goes like this way, and we don't focus on the trees, stones, winds, and this side, that side. We don't care. If our path is good, then just to go through the path and watch the river. Our mind goes like a river follow. Same like teachings when we meditate. When we meditate on sound or every objects are same. Really, it's then slowly kind of attachment arises. You know, it's actually enthusiasm. Still would be. Still, I can remain here 1 more hours. Still, I would like to stay here like through this way, something like that. So the mind is very. If we become familiar, then everything's easy. If we don't practice, you know, this is one thing. If we don't try to experience, only look from far away, then it seems quite hard, and sometimes quite hard to practice. This is all the practices are same, I think. So anyhow, it's very good you are already practicing on there, and I hope you continuously practice. There is something, one day it come back, it's come to on your shamatha meditation almost spontaneously through your training, this practice. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh yes, Richard ordered first, right? And then we do. Thank you.
How about for those experiences? How do you classify those experiences that you're receiving special, like insight when you're just walking around? Let's say you just ask a question and you walk around, and then all of a sudden, like lightning, some point later, it hits you, and you receive insight about that specific whatever it is that you wanted to gain more information about. You either see it or you hear something. I mean, how does that get classified? Because it's not sitting meditation, but you're still receiving special insight about the true nature of something. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay.
So I can hear my sound. I think that usually we are follow what we hear. Follow means we start to use adjective, right? We heard sound, oh, this is a nice sound. Or we heard some strange word, sound, we say, oh, this is strange word. So we use the adjective.
Well, I mean, like sound, like not like sound you actually like hear, like sound that's like in you. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's not the sound like I hear outside me. It's like, I don't want to say I have voices in my head or something. I don't mean it like that. I just like inaudible sound. Never mind.
It's
like a clear audience or something like that. I mean, not something that you hear externally.
I think it's
something you hear inside.
This is also, I think, it depends with the elements. In elements, the power of wind or power of other elements. Sometimes in our ear, just sound come. If you say about that, it's actually any kind of a sound, whether the sounds are outside or inside, doesn't matter. We are going to meditate on shamatha, and it says short and sweet, so we have to meditate in the short period, especially when you are learning these practices. So for example, you are meditate on the for example, breath. Again, if you are meditate on the breath and exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale 3 times, 5 times, 7 times, and between there very less the obstacles arise, very less. They have a less chance to arise obstacles. And then you restart from the first to 7 or first to 5. You're counting this breath, for example. But when you are counting your breath from first to 5, between there some sound or different kind of obscuration or obstacles arise. It's, I think, you acknowledge and you don't follow. Whether they are inside, just you can hear because you cannot control these. You can hear them, but you don't follow them. It's clear? Not clear?
No, it's not. So what I'm talking about is like, you're sharing with us about meditation and how is it that we can gain information about a specific object when you're sitting and you're meditating on it, right? Are there other ways? I mean, like to gain insight about things. For example, like what I was sharing was like sometimes I'll ask questions and I'll just wait and I'll concentrate on it. And if I'm not getting it right now, I'll just get up. And then later on, it will just like, you're just walking around and all of a sudden you stop and you see it all and everything just spontaneously arises. But it's never when I'm sitting, it's always when I'm walking around when it happens. Does that make sense? You're gaining insight about something. But it's not like I'm still.
You receive answers spontaneously by yourself. Sometimes I think when, for example, you have a question arises from your mind, and you sit and you will not get that answer, but you are working around of there's something, and then you will get that answer. It means it is actually not related. Your working and sitting make it different. It does. I think it may not make different your working and sitting, but I think it make different is when we have less obscurations, we purify these thick obscurations. So then quite easily get answers. As you said, sometimes we get answer by ourselves. So this is a very good experience actually when we practice, especially when we practice, we get a good, this is a good experience. So anyhow, when you get answer to your question, that means actually very good because the wisdom, power of wisdom increase, right? It's clear?
So what I'm trying to say is that I don't always receive it when I'm sitting. It's most of the time when I'm receiving information, it's while walking around. It's while doing something, and then it just happens. It's not when I'm trying to make it happen when I'm sitting or something.
Right.
But I don't know if that's the same. Okay, thank you.
I think this is very related. Personal, the physical conditions and so on. So someone can meditate during sitting meditation. Someone can practice very well. Someone through the working meditation, they can meditate very well. So that's where this is what is the best you can choose by yourself. So anyhow, we are going to develop our meditation. So then sitting on the chair or sitting on the cushion or working meditation or listening meditation or something, which is best, we can keep going continuously. Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Jay, yes. First Jay.
Thank you for taking the question, Khenpo.
So welcome.
the question all relates to speech, but it's got three parts.
Mm-hmm.
So the first part is I'm reciting a lot body, speech, and mind,
Mm-hmm.
and realized speech is more than words. So I'm kind of like, what more is speech from the Buddhist perspective? That's one.
Mm-hmm.
The second is there's internal speech,
Mm-hmm.
and the internal speech, words don't communicate the internal speech very well. So what are alternate ways to communicate that internal speech? And then the third is my knowing speech, or my understanding of speech is mostly relative.
Mm-hmm.
It's what's coming out of my mouth
Mm-hmm.
mostly, and words, and seeing words. That's also speech, but I'm guessing that there's both relative speech and ultimate speech.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know anything about ultimate speech, so I would love to know a little more.
Oh yes, thank you. Yes, I start from here. So usually, if we are speak through relative path, because there are two truths: relative truth and ultimate truth. So if we are going to achieve ultimate truth without relative truth, we cannot achieve ultimate truth. Ultimate truth is like a roof of house, and relative truth is like a ladder. So relative truth is useful, helpful to achieve ultimate truth. And then this usually when we speak kindly, nicely, and especially compassionately. And then when we speak respectfully, whatever we say, I think they all Dharma speaking. Dharma speaking, it does not mean always recite some in the sadhana. It does not mean always teach something. So we politely speak or respectfully speak. These are including Dharma speaking. And then internal speak, it cannot communicate person to person. But I think sometimes, your guru and between you and your guru, I think it's the inner speaking can communicate. I think this is the power of disciples' trust and belief, devotion, and gurus, perhaps gurus' clairvoyance, or gurus' some power of practices. Who knows the disciples' mind? That's where sometimes no need particularly say words to words. They communicate through mind to mind, heart to heart. So this is a inner kind of a communication. But in the kind of ordinary beings, we cannot communicate without speaking. It's quite hard, right? Or sometimes through the different ways we can communicate. But anyhow, sometimes oneself communicate. Oneself communicate means oneself Sometimes we can communicate with our thoughts, because we explain something a lot through thoughts. But sometimes mindfulness and wisdom, our wisdom, spiritual wisdom, we can communicate a lot, Hey, your mind is wandering to different ways. Come back, relax again, meditate again, practice. Oh, now your mind is in bodhicitta, progress, oneself, communicate. It's very sweet. It's very nice. And then ultimate speak. Ultimate speak is actually, usually I said there are two truths, relative truth and ultimate truth. But still we say in the relative truth also two kind of truth. So still we can say ultimate truth. That is not highest ultimate truth, ultimate speak, but I think it's sorry, I forget that part. I come back again. Ultimate truth. No, my mind is a monkey, crazy monkey's mind. Going. So the ultimate speaking is speaking comes from winds, inner winds. So from this is it's allowed to say. Actually, in Vajrapani say and some other text also in the teachings I have that from the navel chakra, that area, wind comes up. Wind comes up, come to your throat. Here, your mind makes speaking. And then come to on your tongue, some wind make more sense words. And then you speak to others. So, if your mind is in the non-duality, emptiness, then your speakings are spontaneously become non-duality. So this is ultimate speaking. Then listeners is depending there. If we speak ultimate speaking, but if they have a dualistic perception, they fixate it, or they listen through dualistic perception. That's where then the sound is become dualistic. How to say, relative sound, but otherwise ultimate it's ultimate sound. That means mind makes it clear.
Yeah, yes, that's clear. And you said that before. You've said that when the guru talks, if it's an ordinary mind, then it's ordinary speech. And if there's devotional, yeah, I got it.
Thank you.
And part of it is visualizing where the words, for me, it will be where the words are where they're forming, so where they're mingling with the mind. That's that internal aspect of it within oneself. So that's very helpful. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. So welcome. Thank you very much. Oh yes, Eleanor.
This is for Rachel. She had talked about the sounds, the internal sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And way back before you were born, I was living on a commune in Hawaii.
Uh-huh.
And one of the guys there fell into this meditation and said, "Hey, I found this neat trick, let me teach it to you," which he did. And what I found is it's a great, and everybody's got these sounds in them. And it first sounds like the roar of surf.
Uh-huh.
Like if you're at the beach and there's a lot of waves, there's that low velocity, constant surf sound.
Uh-huh.
And then the one higher than that is like on a summer night, if you've ever been out in the country on a summer's night and the insects are alive and well and they make that high-pitched kind of whine sound.
Mm-hmm.
And then above that, there's all kinds of sounds. There's even these gorgeous bells. And it's a wonderful focusing tool. I did some research at the University of Hawaii. I mean, I was just a participant. And when, for me, I was listening to those sounds, it put my brain in alpha brain waves. And then in this particular color that would come up, I was in theta. But I had to be listening to the sounds. And I just wanted to let her know that if those are the sounds that she's hearing, it's a wonderful tool because you can sit in meditation and use that as your focus object and you don't interfere with anything else. So I just wanted to let her know that, that's all.
Thank you very much.
Or anybody, you know.
Thank you.
And I used to, at work, when I got stressed, I would go into the bathroom, put my fingers in my ears, because if you put your fingers in your ears, then you'll hear the sound, that dull roar that sounds like surf, you know, or ocean waves. And it took me a long time to learn how to do that without having to put my fingers in my ears. So that's possible. And then you can use it anytime you feel stressed. You can just sort of, all right, where are the sounds? And, you know, you can't hear them at first until you kind of breathe and focus and get rid of the anxiety. So it's a wonderful tool. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you very much. Yes, Jay. Yes, thank you.
Khenpo, that's the one you taught me where I put my fingers on my eyes and on my head and put my in here and do the what you taught me was the hum. But that's what I hear her describing. Is where you did this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
that's what
we did.
I hear.
All right, that is the one part of yoga practice. We did that 3 years ago, right? Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and you always go for the higher sound, right? Okay. Thank you.
Say again.
Oh, I just wanted to add that you always go for the higher sound.
Go for the higher sound.
Higher sound. Yeah, because there's bells. There's gorgeous bells in there, but that's like really high.
Oh, I see.
So you start out with the low sound of the surf, and then you get to the insect whine on a summer's night, you know, and you just keep going. But you always aim for the higher sound. Try to concentrate and pick that higher sound out of the mess.
I see. Right. That is sometimes this what is called that pretty especially when we are in dullness, our mind is in dullness, then we focus more kind of a higher sound or sweet sound or melodious sounds or kind of if we focus on colors, kind of a very bright, right? Kind of white or some yellow or some very strong colors we focus, then we can more concentrate on. We can keep our concentration pretty clearly. This is the interdependence between the subject and object. So it's very good. Thank you very much for sharing wonderful things. Oh yes, Ket Thomas.
Thank you so much, Khenpo.
Thank you.
Thank you. So first I'll ask your forgiveness of my confusion about the two questions that I have. So I thought I heard His Eminence Rinpoche say that when body dies, when body leaves the earth, the mind continues. Then I thought I heard you say in one of your talks that when the body dies, the mind dies. So that was one confusion because I heard two different things, or I thought I did. Similarly, I thought I heard you say that if you have ordinary mind, you have ordinary speech. And then I also thought I heard you say in another talk that the ordinary mind was Buddha's mind. So I'd like, if it's possible, to correct me or clarify this thinking. Thank you.
You are so wonderful questions. Yes. Body days, mind dry means I don't know why I did say that. I mean, day, right? Day means body and mind separate. We just label. Otherwise, mind will not die. Only we call die means body and mind, body and mind separate. That part we call die. Otherwise, mind is always wandering from here to Pardo to different lives, realms. So mind will not die. So that's where it's maybe if I say that I was wrong, and absolutely. But I tried to say that. So mind die means mind separate from the body, right? And then second, you say that if you have ordinary mind, then you have ordinary speech. That is, and then the ordinary mind is the reality of the nature state of mind. So this is seems like a conflict, opposite. But this is we have to, actually very good you say that. The thing is that ordinary mind means dualistic thinking. At that time I said dualistic thinking. We have dualistic thinking, then our speak is the same like that. We have a dualistic perception, then our speaking is like that. We are speaking through this way. And then I say ordinary mind is the reality of mind or something like that. This means this is actually Milarepa's final instruction, highest instruction to Gampopa. So this ordinary mind, we don't care ordinary mind. We don't watch ordinary mind. We always watch different ways, different things. So if we watch ordinary mind, where comes from it? Where it will disappear? How is it born? How it is dwelling? How it is ceasing? Is it ceasing? So we watch this ordinary mind. From this ordinary mind, we can find the nature state of mind. If we are going to find the nature state of mind, we cannot find nature state of mind beyond this ordinary mind. So that's where this seems a little bit of conflict, but this is not conflict. This is how to focus on that object. And then what else?
I think that was it.
Oh, that's all. Oh, thank you very much. Are you clear a little bit?
Yes, much clearer. Thank you.
Oh, so welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, Shana?
When we are doing our Nondro practice and we recite at the opening prayers, we say the 100-syllable mantra. What are we saying and what are we creating with that?
Just saying this 100-syllable mantra, it purifies negative imprint of speech. This is the natural power of 100-syllable mantra. Then what we will create is it will purify the overbroken samayas. For example, we keep many vows this life or in previous lives. Sometimes we can't keep them purely, and then this 100-syllable mantra will purify the non-virtue of these broken samayas. And then this also create allows, for example, the all the sounds are mantras. We said mantras. So if we are going to hear all the sounds are mantra, then through this practice of Vajrasattva mantra, then we can hear all the sounds are mantras. And then especially this create is, these mantras have a different way of meditations, the garland and something, and then these radiate different lights, and from these lights also we can hear the sound of mantra, and from this light we can see Yidam deities. It seems like it creates Yidam deities forms, like a sun's ray the sun's ray and ring, they combine and then rainbow appears. Similarly, this mantra garland radiate light, and then Yidam deities appear to us. If we see Yidam deities, it not only see by our eyes, we see them through our mind. That's where, since beginningless, we have non-virtues. They immediately, instantaneously purify. So it creates a lot more than this, but we will come during the Vajrasattva practice more details. But wonderful questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you. Next. Oh, yes, Lydia.
Yes, thank you, Khenpo. I just wanted to share something really quick about the Torma practice for Mahakala in Achichoki. I just found a small tree on my window. Well, the tree was there always, small tree, but now it's a small nest, bird nest. Now, so you're talking about interdependence. So it makes me think that maybe this nest is there for me to give them my Torma offerings to the Dharma protectors. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. You.
Yes, I'm sorry, because the nest was not there before, and I always look at the window and I always look at the tree, and it wasn't there. It suddenly appeared. Like this past week, I see they were building the nest. They makes me think. So now I asked to Khenpo how to give the Torma offerings, and you said a small piece. So it makes me think maybe they're there for that. I hope neighbors don't complain about little birds coming in my window. I just wanted to share that with you. Thank you.
So welcome. Yes, this when you offering the tormas and food to birds, I think you have the knowledge if some birds and what kind of food okay to eat. They are still ordinary life, so if they can digest or not, these are very important. But from your side, the offering them this is so wonderful, and you offer them this food, Thomas. It's so wonderful when you give them and they come. It's I cannot say 100% honestly, but it's very possible these Mahakala and Dharma protectors, they come to protect us from different forms, kind of birds or different kind of different lives. They very possible to come. So we always keep pure perception. Oh, they are come to help us. Mahakala and they are Dharma protectors come to us to protect. So we offering them. It's very nice. And yeah, absolutely. If they eat, they are happy, then that's wonderful. It's you have a double merit, the merit of generosity, and you keep them healthy life, and then in this result, also the practitioners' life also will become healthy life. So that's a wonderful merit. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you so much, all of you. It's a wonderful questions and share experiences, and it's really I'm so deeply rejoice, and I confidence your questions benefit to all the listeners and whoever heard, and so thank you very much. And now we will dedicate, let us generate bodhicitta deeply. Ready? Chancho semjo renpo che ma je ba na je 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 ba nyam ba me ba yo kon de pe va yo.
May bodhicitta, the precious and supreme mind, arise in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a wonderful time.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you.